In the last 25 years, have your guess how many world champions there have been? There's been 13 of them. How many different ones, meaning different player winning? How many of those? There's been 6. Only one of those was non-Chinese. Today we're going to talk about them. If you're new to the channel, please feel free to subscribe and like this video, because today we're talking about one of the greatest runs, one of the greatest tournaments a person has ever had, the 2003 Werner Schlager World Championship run. I'll be honest, I was thinking about maybe writing a script and doing something more planned out for this, but I just wanted to have a face-to-face discussion, like two brothers, two people meeting on the street, sitting in a bar, talking about the beautiful game. Today I wanted to do that. 2003 World Championship. It's been discussed plenty of times. There's been a lot of talk of how Werner Schlager just had an amazing tournament, and it was one of the best finishes ever. And I really wanted to touch on his greatness in this tournament. Before that, though, I really wanted to discuss like what was that tournament like? The semifinal we've seen. There were a couple of people missing. That's what I'm trying to say. So 2003 World Championship. Timo Boll ranked number 1, first seed. It's one of those. It's one of those where Timo Boll wasn't at his best. Yeah, Timo Boll played Chi Yike. Never seen that guy play, but yeah, Timo Boll was first seeded. He was 2-0 up actually and lost 2-4 in second round 64 of the tournament. It was actually crazy. There's a link to this game, but the video is not available anymore. Unfortunately, whoever posted information about the tournament closed all the videos, which is kind of sad. This tournament also had people like Werner. He lost 4-3 to Konstantinos Papageorgiou. I wish I pronounced all of these correctly. We also had, let me see here, Wanli Chen, however we want to say it. There was a lot of good players coming into this tournament. The world ranking at the time looked like this: Timo Boll number 1, Malin number 2, Samsonov number 3, Wanli Chen number 4, Chan Ching Yuan number 5, and Werner Schlager number 6. And as you can tell from who got to the quarterfinal, it was a lot more different. So Chi Yike, who beat Timo Boll in round 2, he made it to quarterfinal where he played against Conlin Hui. He played against one of the best ever, as I've heard plenty of times from my tier list video. Thanks for that. But yeah, he lost 4-1 to Conlin Hui, and Conlin Hui went to semifinal. But for Werner Schlager, the road was pretty simple up to quarterfinals. Even in Andrea Slivenko video, he discussed that when he saw a draw, he was like, okay, so it's a good enough draw for me to go to quarterfinals. And quote from Werner Schlager himself before the tournament, actually after he won the tournament, he said he was hoping to be in a quarterfinal and maybe hoping for a medal, but he never expected himself to win. In the fourth round, Werner Schlager played Kim Taek-soo, that he defeated 4-2. Quarterfinals is where the magic began. When I was a kid, I was listening to the stories of this game, and I was just getting into table tennis, and there was no internet in like 2005 that I could access and rewatch those. But from watching like different Eurosport games on table tennis, they mentioned Werner Schlager, just incredible comeback against Wanli Chen. And then I had the chance to rewatch it. So imagine this situation: you're down 3-1. You 10-6 down, and it's almost like the tournament is almost over for you. And then these 4 points, they created this momentum of, in basketball they call it a hot hand. And I feel like Werner Schlager, after catching that hot hand, actually never mind, he won. That was game 6. He was 3-2 down at that point. So in game 6, when he won that those 4 points, I feel like he got this hot hand. He won 1. He won 2. He won 3. But then the 4th one, the last match point that he saved from Wanli Chen. that from the body kind of jump from the middle was absolutely insane. It was crazy. Like you'd never like give 10 times give you one Liken chance to win this game. He doesn't. He wins the game against Schlager, and I feel like that kind of sparked. I feel like that sparked the whole tournament for Werner. Like it gave him confidence in himself, and whenever you feel hot and you feel that momentum kind of carrying, you just start doing stuff and start getting that crazy confidence that you don't get before. So, Game 7, Werner Schlager wins 11-5 pretty convincingly, and you can tell that hot hand kind of carried over. Moving on to semifinal, Werner Schlager playing against our boy Conley Kui, that everybody loves, and I underestimate, obviously. So, Conley Kui, Werner Schlager starts the game hot, and he actually leads 3-1. Conley Kui comes back to 3-3. The Game 7 was the most intense Game 7. One of the most intense ones you've ever seen, because it was so back and forth. And Schlager probably had quite a few chances to win the game, but Conley Kui wasn't going away. He wasn't going away. He kept going and going and going and going until it got to 10-10. And then I feel like it was like such nerves. There's a right forehand flick that Schlager does while trying to save a match point, which if you're not having that hot of a tournament, if you don't feel the confidence just a little bit, to pull that off in that situation is actually quite impressive. It was one of the sickest shots ever. Schlager wins in 7 games against Conley Kui, and then comes up to the final, which in final he was a favorite. I don't think people show enough respect to Jussi Hugh for being in a final of this tournament, because Jussi Hugh wasn't top 10 rated player at that point in time. Let me just double check. I see 16 players in front of me, and he's none of them. There's Ru Ming, there's Oh Sang Young, but Jussi Hugh is not one of them, and it's absolutely insane. As he beat Chan Chin Yuan, who was 5th seed, and he beat him in 5 games. He then beat Ma Lin in 7. He then beat Kalinico Skrianga, who had himself a tournament. He beat Vladimir Samsonov in quarterfinals, and he beat Chen Wixin 4-0 in quarterfinals, which Chen Wixin beat Wang Hao in quarterfinals. So, as you can tell, there's been a lot of surprises in this tournament. Paris just brings out magic, and there was a 2013 World Championship that was in Paris, and that one, even though Janjika kind of the favorite one, but that had a lot of twists and turns as well. But Jussi Hugh played Krianga in semifinals, and he beat him in 5 games. So Jussi Hugh was coming in pretty hot himself in that final. But Werner Schlager is such a different type of player. When you look at his game and how he plays, everything is super tricky. Everything is super spinny. There was a point against Van Litzin in Game 5 where he just, when they were countering in the forehand, he just put the side spin to that thing. He didn't have to, but he did it because that's the way he plays. He plays with a little trickiness. He plays on making the opponents guess. And those kind of players are the ones that fit the best to play defenders. And that's why I think Schlager was so good in that final against Jussi Hugh. Yeah, he wasn't the type of guy to rush. He was just plain simple. He discussed it on Dan's table tennis daily video, that he was just no risks, just play solid and keep going. And I feel like as soon as he got that hope of, okay, I can win this tournament, that's when Werner was at his best. Where when he felt it that, okay, it's time to win. And from obviously Jussi Hugh is a different type of player. He could attack, he could defend, and there has been some great points. But Werner Schlager is just too tricky with his serves and his side spin forehand, strong forehand. He also has his lack of wrist movement on backhand was always super weird to me, but he just knows how to control. He just has the really great feel for the ball. He just holds the racket so tight, which I found weird for when I started playing. But yeah, he's just opened up a racket really well on every single shot. And when he played those tough defensive balls, and he just made sure it's on the table. Obviously, if I'm playing a defender, for example, like I'd rather play more intermediate, but you can't do it against Yusuke, and he just kept going and going. So, this was, if we'll take a look at the overall history of table tennis, this was 2003 European World Champion, which at that time we had plenty. If we take a look at the history of World Championships, and I pulled up everything. Like the beginning of the video said there's only one in 25 years, but let's just say 2003 is the last one, right? European winner in Werner Schlager in Paris. Then we have Wan Liqin and Lu Guolang in 2001 and 99. So there's two Chinese. Then we have Jano Waldner in Manchester with great final versus Vladimir Samsonov, one of the greatest finals ever. And then we have third and fourth places, Con Lin Kui and Yan Sen. 1995, back to Chinese ways. Con Lin Kui is the world champion. And then we have Jean-Philippe Gatien, Jorgen Persson, and Jano Waldner. So we had a drought of about, is that from 89 to 95, where there was no Chinese winners. Back to Chinese winners, we have Jiang Jilang, who won 87-85, Guo Yuhe, who won 83-81. And then it's basically, there's been some sort of dominance by Chinese players starting from 1959, but it was never like it is today. Since Werner Schlager won the World Championship in 2003, all Chinese final for the next 12 years. Wan Liqin Malin in 2005 and 2007. Wan Hao Wan Liqin in 2009 in Yokohama. We have Zhangjike Wan Hao 2011, Zhangjike Wan Hao 2013. 2015 we have Malong versus Fang Bo, and then 2017 we have Malong and Fan Zhendong. 2019 is where we get a break. We have Malong versus Matthias Falk, which is still crazy to me how Falk made it to final. It was one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my life. 2021 we have Fan Zhendong versus Truls. And we have Fan Zhendong versus Wanchuk in 2023. 2025 is Wanchuk obviously versus Hugo. Hugo was pretty close, and Hugo won, but Wanchuk was just on another 11. But yeah, it is what it is. Last European Championship. Let me know in the comments. Is there going to be another European World Champion in the near future? The Chinese dominance is here. It's dominant. I don't see how anyone can stop the guys, but we do have really good European and non-European players. But could anyone beat a Chinese player for the World Championship title? Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this type of video. I really want to make videos about players specifically, but just let me know if you enjoyed this type of video. Obviously, I really wanted to talk more camera to person, person to camera, person to person, you on the other side. And I didn't really want to make anything that's super scripted. I really wanted to just share my thoughts, share my feelings. I believe this is the best way to do it. Yeah, hopefully you have a great rest of your day. And I see you in the next video. Bye-bye.